Hey guys, welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Zoe and this is Found Finances. Today I finally wanted to touch on credit scores. This is a term that I've heard throughout my young adult life and really haven't ever understood what it was, what it scored, what the number meant and what it was reflecting. Then I had the question of okay, if I have one, how do I check one? Which seems to be a really hard thing to do. And then if I have a really bad one, how do I change it and why do I have a bad one? What factors are being quantified or assessed about me as a person to create this number that apparently means something to some people? And also, what does a credit score do? Why does it matter? What is it used for? And why do I have to pay attention to it? And also, who makes the number? Who makes the credit score? Is it a person? Is it the government? Is it a private institution? Those are questions that I've had for a really long time and also never have had answered by any formal education, whether that's high school or college. Never been touched upon, ever. So today I wanted to cover those questions, answer those questions, and unpack what is a credit score, why does it matter to you, and why as a young person do you need to know what it is and how it's going to impact your life? So if any of those questions are questions you have had in the past or have right now and haven't had them answered by anybody, stick around for the rest of this video to find the answers. All right, so we're going to start with the basics. What is a credit score? So in short, a credit score is a reflection of your financial health. Now think about a GPA as a reflection of your academic health, okay? So you have a number, hopefully in the threes, 3.2 says, all right, you're a fine student. 3.5 says, okay, decent student. 3.9, you're oh my gosh, whoa, how'd they do that? And what goes into creating those numbers? It's grades, right? And who gives you those grades? Your teachers, based on your performance, right? Based on how well you did in their class. That's really the same thing as a credit score, okay? So it's your financial GPA in some ways, and it's based on your past performance. It's based on your credit history, right? It's based on how you've done in the past when it comes to money, paying people back, borrowing money, all things like that. So it's based on your financial behavior in order to tell lenders, so that's going to be a bank, or mainly a bank, but other places obviously lend money as well. But it's going to tell these lenders how credible of a person you are, how trustworthy of a person you are. Are you going to pay back your loan on time, or are you going to go into delinquency? Things like that. Your credit score number gives these institutions an easy, quick way to quantify you, basically. Kind of like standardized tests, things like that. It's always just a way to streamline the process and make it easier to put you into a box. But it really pertains to lending money, okay? So when you're buying a home, or renting an apartment, getting a car, taking out a loan for anything else, your credit score will come up. That is going to be a part of the process that the lender is going to be okay, you want to borrow money from me, I'm going to check how responsible you are, and I'm going to look at your credit score in order to tell me how responsible you are. Just like how universities look at your GPA to say how good of a student you are, pretty much. Okay, so what's a good credit score and what's a bad credit score? So credit scores range from 300 to 850. 850 is the max credit score number you can have. Anything 700 and above is considered good. You're in solid ground if you have a $700 credit score. Okay, so knowing all this, you're how do I tell what my credit score is? How do I figure out what number I am in this standardized world? And for a really long time, I thought you couldn't check your credit score. I thought if you checked your credit score went down, which is true for some ways that you check it. There's multiple ways to check your credit score, and I'm going to get into it. So the two ways are soft inquiries and hard inquiries. And soft inquiries are the ways that your credit score doesn't get changed or go down if you use this method of looking at your credit score. If you go the hard inquiry route, that is when your credit score will decrease and decrease for a while. So soft inquiries are investigations into your credit score that do not impact the number. So soft inquiries happen when you look at your number. You as just an individual are looking at your credit score. It's going to be a soft inquiry. and when financial institutions are trying to pre-approve you for something. So for example, when I signed a lease on this apartment, they did a soft inquiry into my credit report, meaning that my number wasn't impacted long term. But actually, when I was talking to the property management company that did look at my credit score, they said, don't worry, we're going to be looking at it. Your number is going to go down by maybe a couple points, and that's going to stay that way for about 2 weeks, and then it's going to go back up. And sure enough, it did. So I also have some questions I want to clarify about soft inquiries too, that they may in fact make a little dip if a private institution is going to look at your credit score. If you're looking at your credit score, you don't have to worry about it. But in this case, mine did go down for a couple days, but it went right back to the same number it was. Now, hard inquiries are inquiries that are done by financial institutions. So to the best of my knowledge, me and you can't make hard inquiries into our credit reports. If that is incorrect, please put it in the comments down below, but I'm pretty sure it's right. And hard inquiries happen when these financial institutions want to verify information about you when you're looking to take out more credit, extend your credit lines. So that looks like taking out another credit card, taking out a loan from a bank. Those things like that all constitute financial institutions going in and looking at your credit score with a hard inquiry. Hard inquiries stay on your credit report for 2 years. So you're gonna have that blip in your credit score for 2 years if any hard inquiries happen. And I mean, it's natural. Like, you're gonna have to take out a loan someday. If you ever wanna buy a home, you're gonna take out a loan from a bank. They're gonna do a hard inquiry into you. So there's times in your life when your credit score is gonna go down, and it's not because you did anything wrong. It's not because you were a bad financial student. You know what I mean? It's not a reflection of your poor financial responsibility. It's just part of the game, which sounds kind of dumb to me. But that's what the system is, so I'm going to tell you how it works. All right, and I don't know if any of you guys have been picking up during this video, I've used the word credit score, and I've also used the word credit report. And so I'm going to tell you what a credit report is. A credit report is basically a report on your financial behavior that is compiled and managed by a credit reporting agency. Experian, Equifax, TransUnion are big name credit reporting agencies. You can request one free credit report from each credit reporting agency each year. So technically, you could, with these 3 that I just told you, you could request a credit report from each one, and they'd all be free. And you don't have to get a credit report in order to see your credit score. So honestly, I recommend looking at your credit score every 2 or 3 months would be really awesome. And there's no limit like with a credit report in this sense. So credit report, it's one free one every year per agency, whereas your credit score, you can check on your own independently pretty much as you want. And all of these are considered soft inquiries. That credit report check that you do for free, soft inquiry. You checking, soft inquiry. So it's not gonna make a ding on your credit score. All right, so with all of this in mind, I recommend right now going to check your credit score, just doing a free one-time check and seeing where you are if you don't know already. There are 3 institutions I would recommend going to do your one-time check. That's gonna be Capital One CreditWise program, Chase's Credit Journey, and Discover's Credit Scorecard. So you can go to Chase, Discover, what was the other one? Capital One, any of their websites, type in those words I just said, and you'll be able to check your credit score immediately and just see where you're at so you can figure out if you need to improve in some areas of your life to get your credit score back up, or if you're free selling, easy breezy. I want to make a video all about what impacts your credit score, like what things you do to build credit and what things can be detrimental. But overall, credit cards, taking out a credit card or a line of credit in any way is going to start a credit score under your name, and paying off your bill every month on time in full is a great way to start building credit. Your credit score will decline or be hurt in some ways when you fail to pay off your bill a month, if you're behind on payments, things like that. If you stop paying rent, all those types of things. When you're borrowing money from anybody, or you're leasing a place, borrowing land, or like a room of sorts, and you fall behind on a payment like that, that's another place where your credit score could be dinged. It's also a place for you to build credit well. So if you know you can afford the place you're gonna live, you pay your rent every single time, on time, each month, your credit score should be building and start being more robust. So yeah, I hope that was helpful and informative. If you have any questions about credit scores that you want clarified, or things I didn't go over at all in this video, please put them in the comments below. Otherwise, if you enjoyed and want to see more videos like this or about finance in general, Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys soon.